Welcome to First Down Sports. As always, I'm your host, Ray Dunn. Now, sitting with me down at the far end of the table tonight is my brother, Chris. How you doing, Chris?
How's it going, Nate?
And also sitting to my left here tonight is our producer slash co-host, Andy Jardine.
Yo.
And at the back of the room on sound and audio, as always, is yours truly, Nick Dunn.
Hey.
All right, boys, this is our regular podcast. We've got a lot of topics to get in here to tonight. Before we do that, has anybody did anything exciting this weekend they want to talk about?
We talked a little bit of our weekends on the Canadian show. Chris, what did you do this weekend?
This week, I went to Home Hardware. I did some little shopping around, with the
Is
wife.
this a
and
Frank the
kids.
Tank thing?
Yeah.
Did you guys go to Olive Garden? Have a nice little Saturday?
Did
for a little fun
you get to Bed Bath & Beyond?
Yeah. It was great. It was a great time.
Good time, yeah. Nice little Saturday. All right.
Nice little Saturday. All right, we got lots of stuff to get to tonight. I am going to turn the mic over to Andy because Andy's going to lead us through a little game he has come up with here.
Whoa.
And let's see what he's got.
Wait, is it
Whoa.
who's left their NHL hockey team?
No. So I wanted to do a little bit of a trivia with you guys. So earlier I found this site that offers like a bunch of different trivias for different teams.
Nice.
So I actually did one of the trivias that was marked as kind of easy, and I'll have you guys know I got 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's
9 out
awesome.
of 10, and this is about the Bills.
Wow.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Now, there's no way I'm giving you guys that one.
Okay.
I mean, because there's a chance you might not get 10 out of 10, and that would be super embarrassing.
No, I do it. I say do it.
No. I got another one here. Listen to this one now. All right. This one is ranked as average, and it's called Just Buffalo Bills, and it simply says this: if you are a Bills fan, this should be an easy quiz.
All right. Now, I'm not right by your computer. Does Chris get to see the answers?
No, neither of you will see the answer, and you guys can combine to make sure that you guys agree on a answer or not.
Okay, all
It's
right.
up
So we're not playing against each other. We're just seeing if we can come up with the answer.
Absolutely.
All right. Sounds good.
I
So,
already
fellas,
hate the first question. I hate
In what Super Bowl did Scott Norwood's field goal go wide right? Was it Super Bowl X?
It was Super Bowl one, that number one, but the first Super Bowl the Bills went to.
Yeah.
And I don't know what XXV.
Well, that would have been in 93. No,
No.
92.
91.
All right. Well, XXX is what? Super Bowl 30?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
keep going.
at least
Go
one.
down the list. Go down
All
the
right.
list.
You don't want to answer this one yet?
No.
You're
No. I give me the numbers
Super
again.
Bowl X, Super Bowl XXV, which is 25, I guess. Super Bowl XX1V, which is 24, or Super Bowl 30.
Go to Super Bowl 24.
24, do you agree,
Yeah.
Chris?
Sure.
Fair enough? All right. Next up.
Oh, we don't get to see the answer now?
That's-
No, we're going to grade the whole thing at the end.
Okay,
and you guys
right.
better get 10 out of 10 if you're Buffalo Bills.
Well,
All right.
listen, I know the year, but the Super Bowl number I'm not 100% sure on.
Who was the quarterback that led the Bills in the biggest comeback in NFL history? Was it Frank Reich?
Frank Reich.
It's Frank Reich?
Todd
Frank Reich.
Collins.
Frank Reich.
Let them know. So it was Frank Reich, Todd Collins, Jim Kelly, or Doug Flutie.
Yeah, all right.
And that's Frank Reich.
Frank
all the way.
Reich.
Who was the head coach of the Bills?
Here's a little trivia for you.
All right.
Steph Couture and I were at that game.
Okay.
We were getting ready to leave the game, and then the whole stadium was emptying out, and Steph and I realized that we could move down because back then we would sit up in the top levels way at the top.
Okay.
And we realized that we could get seats like 10 rows from the field, so we went back into the stadium.
All right.
And we had sweet ass seats. So when that comeback was going on, we were sitting at like the 45-yard line, 20 rows up, and nobody could get. They were all sitting outside the stadium because once you leave, you can't come back.
Is this the trivia question?
Anyways, keep going.
For future
That's a little story.
Yeah, for future reference, that was not trivia. That was a story.
Sorry.
All right, yeah.
Sorry.
I say false. False.
No problem. All right.
I say false.
Question 3.
Sorry.
Who was the head coach
Couture does.
in the Bills' 4 Super Bowl appearances?
Come on.
Come on.
Ditka, Phillips, Levy, or Greg Williams.
Marv
all the way.
Levy.
Ditka. Marv Levy.
All right,
Lock
guys. Number 4. Where did Bruce Smith play college football?
Good question.
Notre Dame, Syracuse, Penn State, or Virginia Tech?
I think it's
Syracuse.
it's Virginia Tech or it's
Virginia
Nick
Tech.
Sands.
It's Virginia Tech.
You think it's Virginia Tech?
Yeah, Virginia Tech.
Right.
Lock it in.
I see
The,
the colors.
the Buffalo Bills playoff loss in Tennessee was called and it's 3 words.
Miracle. The
Music City.
the Music City Miracle.
Yep.
All right. I apparently have to type this in.
Okay.
Where did O.J. Simpson play after he left Buffalo? Dallas, San Francisco,
San
Miami,
Francisco.
or prison?
It was San
Just for the
Francisco.
humor, I'm gonna go prison on that one.
No,
Lock it in.
It was
Lock
San,
it in.
It was
What
San
was
Francisco.
O.J.'s number in Buffalo? 34?
32.
32? All right. You guys.
Sorry, it's 34, 30, 32. Everyone's got to
No,
hear
it's
it.
fine.
Too,
Doesn't
right?
matter. Doesn't matter. All
Why,
right.
why don't we let him read it? Because people are maybe wanting to hear
Okay,
it. Too,
right.
Or yeah, if you guys want to play along, we'll start actually reading stuff for
Okay,
you.
all
So,
right.
yeah,
Sounds
you
good.
got- yeah.
Sounds good.
Who has been an owner of the Buffalo Bills? Art Modell, Ralph C. Wilson, Al Davis, or Don Shula? This is the dumbest
This is
question.
the
I've
easiest
ever-
questions I've ever seen. Ralph Wilson.
Ralph Wilson.
All right.
Lock it in.
Who was nicknamed the Biscuit?
Wow, easy.
All right. That's Daryl Talley, Thurman Thomas, Shane Conlon, or Cornelius Bennett.
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 All right. And finally, question number 10. In Super Bowl 27 against the Dallas Cowboys, late in the game, Leon Lett looked to be headed for a meaningless score. Who ran him down and knocked the ball out of bounds? Was it Andre Reed, Eric Moulds, Jim Kelly,
Good name.
or Don Beebe? Was it
I know it.
Don Beebe.
Yeah, Don Beebe.
Don Beebe. All right, let's.
We should have it next time. We should write it down on paper.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Let's submit our. Well, next time, let's submit our answers. So it was actually Super Bowl 25, right?
Yeah. I knew it was one of those
Said the
earlier
year.
ones.
Yeah, that's good. And otherwise, you got
Perfect.
it all right. You guys are valid Buffalo Bills fans. Almost. You
I
got
don't
one
know.
wrong.
I don't know if that quiz really validates.
And I'm wearing
me
my
as a-
colors tonight because we're 3-1, baby.
Listen.
3-1.
Hey, gentlemen, there's a bunch more here, and some of them are ranked very difficult. Next week,
All right.
we're gonna
let's-
see how
No,
good you
maybe
are.
we'll do a Browns one next week.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
go
yeah.
Browns. All right, Andy, let's go talk some NFL football.
Well, let's start. Congratulations, guys, on your big win. Buffalo Bills sitting in first place in the AFC East. I didn't get a chance. Like I was saying, I was doing a motorcycle course all weekend and missed all the early games, including the Browns game, thank God. But we'll try to talk about it in a sec. But just tell me about this game.
Wait a
I'm going to
sec.
let you guys unload here.
Wait a sec. Do you need to take a course for a moped?
Yeah.
Okay. I just.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Relax.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me tell you this. Last week against Denver, there
so
was
mad.
not
Angry.
many Bills fans that were picking that Denver game. And I know there's a lot of you people in the closet that are telling me you did. You really didn't.
No.
And heading into Atlanta, I don't think there was any more Bills fans. The number may have increased a little bit, but there wasn't a whole lot of Bills fans picking them to win this game in Atlanta.
I
Yeah.
did.
This game in Atlanta
Did too.
is probably one of the biggest victories the Bills have had since 93, 94, back in the days when Kelly came around.
And I was in grade 3.
This was an unbelievable,
sorry.
unbelievable football game. And not only that, remember I talked last week about the Bills are finally getting some breaks their way.
Yeah.
This game showed it again.
Another one?
The whole Matt
there
Ryan
was a big
fumble
call.
interception, return for touchdown, and then later in the game, there was a pass by Matt Ryan, and it was intercepted. And it was intercepted almost in a trap, and it looked like the nose of the ball caught the ground. Any other time, if that was another team or whatever the case, that call would never go Buffalo's way, and they got that call too. Things are really looking good for Buffalo. I mean, Chris, go ahead. What do you think?
Well, I just think it's a shame that there's an asterisk to this win a bit with that horrible call. It was horrible
Yeah.
against Atlanta. Anyone that's a fan of football, regardless of your team of choice, if you look at that and you say that's a good call, come on. Nick and I
We
watched
tried to argue
it. Yeah.
to make it seem like it was a good call, but
Right.
no, we couldn't.
Nick and I both said
You,
this is
you, got,
ridiculous.
you felt guilty about being happy about it,
I-
right? And
I-
you were like,
I get it that it's not the right call, but it went to review, which you like.
Yeah.
So
All of our officials got it. You know what they did is they stuck up for the officials' call. The call was like because they usually go with the highest percentages what the call is on the field,
Right.
and they went with it. And the inconclusive is, I can't believe that official up top stood by and it still allowed that call to go through.
Which is the opposite of what happened that we were arguing about last week when they all called it a touchdown.
Yeah.
And they reversed it. And, but anyway.
Yeah, I don't get it. If you look
I
at that,
digress.
if you look at it,
he did
horrible.
lose control for like a split second.
Got
but
it
he
back.
Got it right back.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Well,
horrible.
you know what? Congratulations, Buffalo Bills, on a big victory. They're sitting in first place. Let's hope they can hold on to it for a little longer. I want to remind everybody that was my upset of the week. There is somebody who's a non-Bills fan that called this, and Nick's doing the Rob Van Dam thing because after I called it upset of the week, he did too.
Yeah.
Just kind of followed along.
I was gonna do it anyways. So
Okay.
I am worried about what's going to happen to Buffalo. And we've had a lot of injuries after that game. We got Matthews out. We have EJ Gaines is out too. I think he's day to day,
Yeah.
but he played phenomenal for our defense.
They did, but here's the thing about that Buffalo team right now. It really is a next up on the bench attitude.
Yeah.
That coach McDermott, I don't know what he's doing in that locker room, but the difference of that team versus what we've seen the last couple of years under Rex Ryan, it is night and day.
Yeah.
Like Shaq Lawson was out this week. Did you even know the guy's name that was playing in replacement of Shaq Lawson?
Yarbrough.
No, not Yarbrough. He's a defensive tackle.
Well, he gets rotated on the left side though.
Yeah, but
and Washington.
But the guy that Washington didn't play this week either.
he didn't come in and rotate at all.
No, he he wasn't even dressed for the game.
Wow.
But
That's impressive.
he has this team playing next guy up, and that guy that comes up is prepared to go.
Yep.
And Leonard Johnson, who came in and wasn't looking the greatest against Julio Jones, keep in mind, he was the one that on the last pass of the game that Matt Ryan had on fourth down, it was Johnson that broke that play up. So these guys are finding a way to win with the talent they have.
Nice.
It's a scheme too, right?
Well, we've got some breaking news and some not so breaking news. So breaking news is there's good coaching in Buffalo, guys.
Good coaching in Buffalo.
Not
I
so
like this
breaking
guy.
news is Rex Ryan's an idiot. And I think we knew that. So
Here's an interesting thing. I know we got to move off the Bills, but I watched the ESPN pregame show, and Rex Ryan is loving the Bills right now on ESPN, and not only that, but he's still trying to take credit for the roster
Sure.
that Buffalo has, and they've gotten rid of a lot of the guys that Rex has brought in. So
Yeah.
it was quite interesting to see Rex Ryan talking Bills this Sunday.
Actually, the other one is Humber that I was thinking of for the
Humber.
linebacker.
He's a linebacker, but that's not the guy I was.
No. I'm not saying for, but I mean, I think he's leading our team in hits, and having him being out, I think is a big factor. Because I think he's playing dynamite. Yep.
all right, Browns game. So I said on the Canadian podcast you weren't here yet, Chris, but watching the Browns right now is like watching someone else's kids play Timbit hockey. And the CFL is actually what I'm turning to actually watch football. They got absolutely destroyed by Cincinnati. Cincinnati found their offense, though the defense certainly let them do it. Our offense is an absolute mess. There's a lot of injuries on both sides of the ball, and our receivers are an absolute joke. And that's all I have to say about it right now. This was not supposed to be the year they turned it around. They haven't turned at all, from what I can tell. And
regressing.
Yeah, and we're going to take it 1 week at a time. I think we have the Jets next week, and
possible first win.
well, you know what? But it's 3 weeks
No.
in a row now where we said these are winnable games, and after those last 3 games, like the Jets aren't even a winnable game, and we're going to be talking about why. So we'll see. Thank you for taking up so much time on the Bills game, guys, because we have no more time for the Browns game, and that's wow.
Wait,
Way to go.
I just saw like I didn't get to watch the game this week, but I looked at some of the highlights, or not so highlights in your case.
The lights.
But the replays, let's say.
Yeah.
So Kaiser, it just feels like, and you tell me, you watch the game, it just seems like he's holding on to the ball a little too long. I don't know if that's because of the receivers, nobody's getting open. Why don't they bring Barnidge back?
Yeah,
Maybe that could be something too.
It's a combination. So he's holding the ball too long. He's big and strong, and like he's been hit harder than I've ever seen a quarterback hit, and he just stands back up and laughs about it. Like, and that's not going to last forever. But but he does. He holds onto the ball too long, and he's just kind of waiting for routes to materialize that aren't going to have time to materialize. And he's getting better with it. But the other part is our receivers are letting him down. Like 2 games in a row now, we're talking like 7-8 drops.
Yeah.
Like it's bad. But it's not an excuse. The defense was supposed to be the strength of the team. Myles Garrett's going to make his debut this week.
That could be a fact. That could be a big factor.
Hopefully that helps things.
Yeah.
Next game, guys. Woo! What a game. Rams at Cowboys. 35-30 victory for the Rams.
I still want to talk about the Browns. Let's go back.
How about no?
No.
How about no?
Let's move.
Leave my team alone.
Remember that one play?
Remember Kaiser's like,
Dallas, the Dallas Cowboys had a massive 21-point second quarter, and the Rams righted the ship. Jared Goff
Beast.
and Todd Gurley both had really, really good games. Goff 66.7% passing, 112.2 rating.
Unbelievable.
To this point in the season, Gurley had a great day. I don't think he scored a touchdown, but he ran for 121 yards.
Well, he ran for 121 yards. He also received for 94 yards with a touchdown.
Yeah, big game.
He caught it on that crossing pattern. That's really what got the game rolling for the Rams.
And so Zeke Elliott kind of had a strong enough game with 85 yards and a touchdown, but and even Dak didn't have the worst game. But he didn't do enough to win. But here's what I want to ask you guys. So the Rams actually turned the ball over twice.
Yeah.
But still managed to outlast and beat the Cowboys.
In Dallas.
In Dallas. Yeah.
Listen, we talked about this last week. The Rams are on the rise.
Oh, yeah.
They've got a phenomenal roster. Exciting roster and fairly young roster as well.
Very young.
Listen, the Rams are for real.
Yeah.
And they have
It's time to say that.
They have
right?
it. They have it. They have a decent defense as well. Look out. LA is for real. We talked about this real quick last week. They are going to win that AFC South
and NFC
or NFC Southwest division this year.
Here's what I thought was like really interesting was that in that game, Watkins had an awesome game in the previous game, right? Mm-hmm. So does Woods. They came out like beasts. And so what did this team do? What did the Dallas do? You had to scheme against those guys.
That's right.
Yep.
And then who comes up? I really like him a lot. That Cup guy.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
That dude has some serious hands. And they just transition to that. They have so many options.
Yeah.
And that's why no wonder Goff is doing so well this year.
Yeah.
Gurley is a beast. Really, where do you rank Gurley right now? Where do you like? I know top five biggest beast in the league.
My gosh, he's top 3 running backs right now. That's what I was going to ask. So Jared Goff to this point in the season, I mean, he's completing 67% of his passes. His QB rating, I think, is in the top 3 in the league, 3 or 4. He has 7 touchdowns to 1 interception. And then you look at Todd Gurley, who has 362 yards and 4 touchdowns in 4 games.
That's right.
These are their young players. This team has superstars on there too on the defense. So, I mean, you got to blame Jeff Fisher, right?
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, how did Jeff Fisher turn in that effort with his team?
Or did he not have enough tools at the time? He was there for development. I've never been.
They were all there.
I think
they didn't have Watkins.
I think it was in LA's best move to move on from Fisher.
Yeah,
this team is set up for success. All I want to say about this game is, talking about Cooper Kupp, it does remind me when, Chris, we were kids. Remember when we used to make Nick drink juice out of our Cooper Cups all the time?
So many crying.
So much crying.
Many days of crying.
So much. All right, let's move on.
Cut that out. No, we're not going to cut
No, because he's feeding this live to Facebook right now. Hey guys on Facebook Live, just so you know, Nick used to drink juice out of a cup.
A Cooper
By
Cup.
the way, Darren Crosby just says go sports.
So many good insights from that.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Crosby,
Darren.
he knows his stuff.
Next game that I know you guys are excited to talk about, Panthers and Patriots.
Panthers and Patriots. Way to go, Superman. Sorry.
I don't know what that was.
I don't
Cool.
know.
Yeah, all right. 33-30, the Panthers. Hold on. The Pats, if you look at just the box score, they had a relatively good game.
They did.
They didn't turn the ball over whatsoever. The Panthers gave it away twice. There was a fumble that they lost, and there was also an interception. And I think you guys watched this one more closely than me. What the heck happened?
Listen,
Defense
is horrendous. I made this comment on Sunday on social media. Stephon Gilmore was a complete bust by New England signing this guy. He is horrendous. I told you he cannot cover anybody one-on-one. When he was drafted, it was a 4-3 defense. He had safety help. He looked great his first 2 years as the Buffalo Bills. When Rex Ryan came in at a 3-4 and put him on a one-on-one, it killed his career. It killed his confidence. This guy cannot cover. He's horrendous.
No, but I think it's more than just him too. It's if you looked at the replay when they were looking like what's going on. You don't ever see a New England scheme where they're totally
not sure
lost.
where to go. Yeah,
and they're like, what is going on? And it's like, oh, that made me feel so good as a Bills fan, not as a football fan, because it sucks.
Yeah.
And you see, what is it? Funchess just ease on into the end zone with an When has New England ever done that?
Never.
Yeah.
Never. And I'll tell you one guy. If there's one guy from New England, from the Buffalo Bills that I miss dearly, I wish he was on our roster,
Hogan.
is Chris Hogan.
Yeah.
Such a stud. He is a stud receiver. What was Rex thinking letting this guy go?
Well, it was a good move, but like the way that they offered that contract, remember, we had some salary cap we had to watch. We were signing Glenn at the time, and our so they offered it something that we just can't match right now.
No.
Yeah.
But they saw a lot of good stuff in him, and it was a big loss.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So next game. I just want to rewind really quickly and revisit one of my bold predictions that were so ridiculous in that particular show, right?
Yeah.
You know the bold prediction segment where I actually made bold predictions and you guys made predictions.
I made a good one. Come on.
All right.
My prediction's looking bolder and bolder right now with the way the Bills are playing.
I called LA. I called LA over Dallas. That's a big one.
So to revisit my bold prediction was this: that the Jets would not pick top 2 in the draft, and not because they traded it, because they actually screwed up and won too many games, and they're 2-2.
They're 2-2.
So the Jets versus the Jags, the Jets end up winning this game 23-20 in overtime. Bortles was Bortles, man. 15 for 35, a touchdown, interception. That, my friend, is shite. Is what that is. Oh my gosh, 15
sorry,
for
Andy's mom.
No, I'm not sorry, Mom. All right, I put an E at the end of it. It's not even a real word. All right, calm down, Chris. All right, 15 for 35. The Jets' run game was running wild. McCown didn't do much of anything good, but somehow the Jags held on. The Jets held on to beat the Jags in overtime. Did you guys watch any of this one? What do you think?
I listen. It's the Jags and the Jets. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time watching a game like this.
Division rival, man.
But when
they're right on your heels right now.
When I saw the Jets, starting to come back and win this game, I thought to myself, this is real interesting. Next week, the Jets have Cleveland.
Yeah.
If the Jets win against Cleveland and Tampa Bay can find a way to knock New England off at home on Thursday night,
it's not happening.
Can you imagine the Bills and Jets and first and second of the AFC East?
Pretty interesting.
I just like the NFL Access always showing like that, like the order, and who would have predicted Miami being at the lowest? I thought Miami was going to.
I predicted that. No, I said Cutler's a bum. They will suck this year with Cutler.
And they got shut out, didn't they? Didn't they get completely shut out?
Completely shut out.
Yeah, I didn't put them on the list to talk about, but yeah, Miami got just so Cutler's a bum.
Cutler is a bum.
I do have one thing to go back to this Jaguars and Jets. I see Jaguars to be very close to what the Rams were this last year. Mm-hmm. What I see is they have a very strong running back. I don't think Bortles is as bad as what people may think. And you see glimmers of, when they blow out a few games before, they show signs of like, wow, this is a good solid team. I like the defense, but I think it's their pass, like of the options. Right now, there's not a whole heck of a lot of options out there. They lost Robinson, I think, for the year. Mm-hmm. Hearns is stepped up, and they have some guys that they're plugging in. But I think next year, if they can retool and put some other options, some good options to Bortles, I think you could see the Jacksonville do the same thing of what the Rams did
What
this
the
year.
Rams are doing.
I think the best option. So, Chris, what you're saying is true, but I really think that it is Bortles, and I think the best option for Bortles is to find a replacement for Bortles to come in and take over this extremely talented team. Could you imagine Josh McCown playing quarterback for the Jags?
Yeah.
My gosh. Like, and this is Josh McCown I'm talking about, but like, Chris, 15 for 35. So anyway, let's move on to another game. This, last week I said I was starting to turn on Watson. Oh gosh, and I think I've already done. Texans versus Titans. Everybody thought the Titans were finally legit, and they were showing signs of it. A 50 burger gets put up on them. 57-14 Texans over
Unreal.
Titans. My only comments I wrote down here was, whoa, ... Watson was outstanding. The defense was outstanding. Lamar Miller was outstanding. Every phase of the Texans team was outstanding. And that's what you need to be if you're going to score 57 points in an NFL game. Wow. Just your thoughts.
Well, listen, I said at the very beginning of the year that Watson would be taking over the starter very early into this NFL season.
Yeah.
They should have started him in game one. I think they would have probably beat New England, rather in his first game be in New England. This kid has got talent. He's a gamer. He knows how to win. And when the defense has an offense that can put up this much points, that defense is going to be a whole heck of a lot better than it was down New England.
Yeah.
This team is going to be there come the AFC Championship with the way that this kid can play football.
Chris?
Yeah. You know what I really like this is finally Lamar Miller's coming out and showing what he can do as he did last year.
Yeah.
They respected the pass a little more last year. Now you got a rookie in there. They played pass heavy and they showed that he can do it. And now it's Miller time.
It is, yeah.
And I think that's the double threat of now they have to respect the pass.
Yeah.
They got to respect his legs. The quarterback that can scramble off to the side and score you a touchdown, that's dangerous.
Yep.
He's showing a lot of confidence, poise in the pocket. Now you got Miller starting to hit. Now they're going to start playing the pass more. Watch out for Miller. And they got the defense. I think it's just going to be exciting.
Okay.
This is more to come.
It's Miller time, by the way.
It's
Not
Miller
a
time.
not a spot.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
No, hold on, though. Miller, give us a call for the Canadian show if you need to. It could be Miller time in Canada. Give us a call. All right, guys. The only
Sorry,
other thing
Jack.
I wanted to talk about a little bit for the NFL before we move on is just the Giants are 0-4.
Yeah.
My gosh, did you see that coming?
I had no idea that was going to go that way. I thought that with those two receivers, I always thought the running back was going to be a problem with the Giants.
Yeah.
I just didn't think it was strong enough.
But they don't run anyways, right? So you were thinking
Eli.
it'll be fine because their
Yeah.
defense is great.
that's it.
And it's like
I like Shepard. I like, then you got
Odell.
No. I was trying to think of the other guy.
Marshall.
Yeah,
Marshall.
Marshall, yeah. And Odell, like that, I thought that right there alone was going to be, who cares about the running? They're going to have to look at the pass so much,
Yeah.
throwing anybody in there.
And it's just not happening.
And the defense is good.
It's really
Yeah,
good.
the defense is strong. I just don't get it.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, when it comes to the Giants being 0-4, I think this is important for the Giants. One of the biggest problems that the Giants have is the distraction that OBJ makes himself.
I don't know. I don't buy it.
This guy is a major distraction. He's not all there. And I think
he's a winner, though. He's like the guy
I think the best thing that could ever slap OJ or Odell Beckham Jr. in the face is 0-4. And I think that may bring some maturity to this kid to realize he can't show up every week and act like a clown on the sideline. You can't be on the sideline trying to pretend you're peeing like a dog or proposing to the kicking net and all that stupid stuff he does. It's because of that kind of play that you're 0-4.
well,
They're
think it's more to it.
100%. It's 100%.
disagree.
But
What
he's-
I'm saying is, this 0-4
No.
should hopefully bring some maturity to that kid, so he can start focus on playing friggin' football.
well, I'm siding with Chris here. Like, I'm not blaming Odell Beckham Jr.
I'm not blaming him. I'm
did
saying
too. You
I'm
flat
saying
out blamed
I'm
the guy.
saying this is good for him to be 0-4.
You're right. It's good for him, but he can't do much more than he's doing.
No,
I mean,
he's a beast.
if you watch him play, even during this 0-4 stretch, he's the best receiver
Yeah.
in the league.
When he wants
he's
to beat you, he just beats you.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
He knocked his finger completely out of the socket during the game.
Comes
The
out.
cameras
Yeah.
watched as the training staff pulled it back into position. I mean, he's a tough kid.
Yeah.
The announcers for that game were just talking about how, like, you know, people talk about Odell Beckham Jr. as a distraction, but when you talk to Giants players, they say not at all. Like, he is what he is, and he plays so good and is such a huge part of this team that it's fine that he's doing that. So I don't know.
If I'm a coach, I'm not proud to have a guy like that on my team acting like that on the sideline.
Well, if
There's
your
no
name's
question.
But I think that's
Ben
more
McAdoo,
media.
you
I think
just
it's
put
I think
up-
it's more media driven though. Is like, oh, look at what he's doing. But I think you're right. Like in the locker room, I don't think that you
This-
would find it as
This kid has the
distracting.
opportunity.
It's like a Gronk.
This guy has the opportunity to be one of the best receivers to ever play in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This guy has the opportunity to put up numbers like Jerry Rice. And my only question to you is this. And I know everybody's got different personalities, but Jerry Rice is one of the biggest winners as far as receivers go to ever play the NFL game. Did you ever see any antics out of Jerry Rice like you see from Odell Beckham Jr.?
Can I throw something out to
This
you, though?
kid has
You're gonna
got
say T.O., right?
This
No,
guy's
I'm gonna
got
say-
to
I'm
grow
gonna say
up.
a winner that Deion Sanders. I think he's way more beyond what Odell is, and way bigger of
No.
In a future
It's-
show,
you got to watch the highlights.
No,
of,
you're.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right, Chris. Actually, in a future,
Huge,
future
huge.
show, I think we have to have the Deion Sanders talk because that guy is so overrated.
what? Oh no way.
You
can't
take.
stand
I just want to
Shutdown
take
corner,
two that remind me of Odell is Terrell Owens and Chad Johnson.
But if you look,
Right, those two guys.
I
How
challenge
many,
you.
how many Super Bowls did those two
But
receivers?
I challenge
win?
you to take on the biggest.
T.O. has one.
Yeah, T.O. has
T.O.
one.
No,
Super
Tio never won a Super Bowl.
He didn't?
No, he never won a Super Bowl.
I think we'd have to fact check that.
You
Nick.
fact check that.
Fact check
you
it.
might be
Terrell
right.
Owens never won a Super Bowl, which is one of the things.
that?
That's
Yeah,
one of
I
the
think
knocks.
he's right. I think he's
it's
right.
one of the knocks against him for not being able to get
It
into
was
the
with
NFL.
San Fran,
With
I
San
thought.
Fran.
No.
I think he
it was
joined
with
after.
Young.
No, he did not win a Super Bowl in his career.
Nick. Now, I challenge you to this. I challenge you to look YouTube up on Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Way more of a showboater.
Yeah,
way
but
more.
hold on though.
Over the top.
I think you would agree that a cornerback
he was a
has to
receiver
be
too.
more of an ego maniac because a cornerback's trying to get in the head of a wide receiver. A cornerback has got more cockiness to him than a wide receiver does, and not only that, but I will also tell you that a cornerback is always one of the best, if not the best athlete on any NFL team.
I say a distraction is a distraction. I don't care if it's offense or defense. The way that you're describing Odell is a distraction to the team.
Yeah.
Regardless if it's of offense or defense, it doesn't matter to me. I think if a person's being an idiot on both sides, it's just the same. Doesn't matter OD.
Well, let's move on. I agree though that
Was I
let's put
right
it-
about Terrell?
You were.
Yes.
But no, I don't think.
I thought he caught on with Young at the end.
No, but I think a wide receiver has the right to be just as cocky towards a cornerback as a cornerback has a right to be cocky towards him.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. And it's not Odell Beckham Jr.'s fault that they're 0-4.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it is.
No, I know
What
you're not. I know you're not.
yeah.
And it's a wake up call for him. And maybe now he can do even more and catch 300 yards in a game or something and win it for them. But what's going on in New York? Is Eli done? What is happening? They have no running game. This Paul Perkins guy, absolute piece of
Terrible.
junk.
Terrible. And he had a couple promising
Sherman,
games
too.
at the end of the year.
What about Sherman in Seattle? The guy's like one of the biggest trash talkers in and they won a Super Bowl with him too.
I get it, but a cornerback is a little bit different than a wide receiver. That's my opinion.
I just
right?
don't see the same.
Okay, let's get into week 5 then. So we got some big games coming up this week. We got Green Bay at Dallas.
Boom.
That's not who Dallas wants to see after their loss to the Rams.
No, Green Bay all the way.
Kansas City at Houston. That's going to be a great game with those
That's
two
good.
games.
I don't know what to call that one.
Seattle's at LA Rams. Jets are at Cleveland. Whoa.
Let's dive into that one.
All right.
I think
Buffalo's playing in Cincy. On Thursday night, you've got New England at Tampa Bay. And hold on to this one, folks. Baltimore's at Oakland, where EJ Manuel is making a start for the Oakland Raiders. EJ! All right, so for week 5, Chris, give me your lock.
You know what? Let's start off with Andy on this one. I just want to review one more time. Just give a quick little.
My lock of the week is the New York Jets beating the Cleveland Browns.
All right.
That's your lock of the week?
My lock of the week.
My lock of the week, because I get to go first now because Chris wasn't ready, I'm going with the Buffalo Bills over the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm taking that.
Lock of the week, I'll go with Green Bay over Dallas.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Let's talk about upsets. Andy, you go first.
It's hard to pick an upset this week, but I'm gonna say, and in years past, this never would have been considered an upset. But I'm gonna take Arizona beating Philly.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Arizona being Philly.
Where's that game again?
It's in Philly.
In Philly. Okay, good.
Yep.
That's a good upset.
Yeah.
Chris.
I'm going to ride my wave, and I'm going to go LA over Seattle.
LA over Seattle.
I don't even know that that's considered an upset
That's
right now.
not an upset.
All right, then you
That's
know what?
not
I
an
thought I'd
upset.
ride the wave. Then the only one that was really
I had that
catching
as
my
a
mind-
lock. I had that as a lock if you took the Bills.
I'm going to go, there was a little bit of Browns giving a little bit of drama in Pittsburgh. Let's go Jacksonville over Pittsburgh.
Whew. Wow.
Upset.
After Blake Bortles goes 15 for 35. I like it, Chris.
That's
All
right. There you go.
That's a
You
good
want
upset.
you want a little bit more of a bold. Well, there's not a lot of bold. Like that's the only one that's
Here-
kind of bold.
Yeah.
This
hard
one's
to-
kind of bold.
All right.
Thursday night, Tampa Bay at home against New England. I'm taking Tampa Bay to win that one. Tampa Bay.
That's just a tick off our New England.
No, it's not. I think that's. I think
I'm
that's.
okay with it if that's why.
You look right now at,
I'm
at- you
okay
look
both
at
same
New
way.
England's defense on the road. They can't play defense at home. I think this is a great pick for an upset. Tampa Bay at home against
It is
New
a
England.
great pick. I can't believe if it happens, it'll be a huge upset.
It'll be a great
Glorious.
upset.
Yeah.
Oh, and Tom Brady, you suck.
You suck. Sorry. All right, that's our NFL segment of the week. Before we get out, Chris, any final thoughts?
It's I'm really enjoying this, like how this year in the NFL of how you're seeing some teams develop. It's like really, really exciting. So I'm really appreciating this year that the known teams aren't just winning out. A lot of teams are actually developing, taking a step forward, and I find it extra exciting this year.
Yeah, everybody except Cleveland.
Yeah. And I was just going to bring that up. So this is what
Andy.
I love talking about the Browns with Andy when I go, because we both. I'm sorry, I'm going to go on a little tangent, but the Bills and the Browns, they're very similar organizations. Wouldn't you say? They've sucked for so long. It's just nice to see one of them start to climb out. But I know you're supporting deep down. Okay.
Weren't you a part of the conversation when he was so insulted that I even compared the two?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I remember.
now they're
I
so
remember.
similar.
Yeah.
But one of them's climbing out, and it's nice.
Yeah.
All right,
it's
Andy.
nice
What's your final thoughts here?
Congratulations to Nick Dunn in the back of the room for winning the pick'em pool this week. He had 20 points. I was runner-up with 19. Just couldn't pull it out. Just throwing it out there. Listen, though, guys, if you're watching,
We have a bottle of Done Right
we had
sauce
Oh, thank you.
We had a bit of an issue with the pool. I had screwed up, and I had it set to the games would lock 1 hour before the first game of the day, which meant that you couldn't do anything the moment the England game started.
Unreal.
I was at my moped course, and I gave Ray my login information. Thanks, Ray, for fixing it all
for
up.
Yeah, it was actually Jeannie that
spotted it.
that spotted the issue with
Yeah.
this.
Now remember, guys, don't be discouraged about this one, because guess what you win if you have the best record at the end of this pool? Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, there's weekly prizes in this, so don't worry about if you miss a week or something like that. I mean, try to get your picks in, but at the end of the day, you're trying to win a week to win a prize. So it's fixed up now. So if you notice that, it's not going to be a problem anymore. You're going to have an hour before the game that you're picking starts to do your pick. So
Yeah.
that's it.
Win a moped ride with Andy if you win it.
Meep, meep, meep. Nick, do you have anything you want to shout out before we
Let's
get
go
out?
Sabres on Thursday.
That's
Hockey's
it.
back.
Buffalo
Montreal
Sabres. No.
Canadiens.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Talk about that.
We really didn't get into the odds and ends. I just have a couple odds and ends. Let's talk about this real quick.
Sure.
So I already said EJ Manuel's in. Chicago Bears, they are going to Mitch Trubisky.
Love it.
He's starting.
Yep.
Delvin Cook, gone for the year.
Oh, that's rough.
Huge.
Chris, you're going to love this news. The juice is loose.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
O.J. Simpson, after 9 years,
That's awesome.
is out of prison.
Congrats, OJ. I hope you're listening.
2,000 yards. That's all you got to, that's the only highlight. 2,000
big-
yards.
Well, The Naked Gun
Yes, okay. And the
was a
naked guy.
great movie.
We had a huge, terrible event that took place down in Vegas, and
Yeah.
all props up to Dana White. He leads right now. He has donated $1 million to the Vegas shooting victims. So good for Dana.
Awesome. Horrible, isn't
Right?
it?
Terrible. And President's Cup, America, the United States wins
America.
the.
Say it right.
The
America.
United States wins the President's Cup, and guess who was there to give him the cup? Donald Trump showed up at the golf course to give him their cup.
Priorities.
Priorities.
At least he showed there.
Yeah, at least he showed there. And lastly, we can't get out of here with this. I mean, what is this guy? 50 years old now? Yammer Yager signs with the Calgary Flames for a 1-year contract.
Yep.
He's
How
back
many more
again.
years do you think he has in him, Chris?
Oh, he's got
6.
3 more.
Yeah, probably 3 more on 3 different teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know maybe we'll talk about another show, but
Yeah, we'll talk about another show.
No, I do really want to talk about one thing. If you leave a team after, so I'm not going to say what happened, but what do you feel out there if you follow the team your whole life, and then you leave them and you go to another team? Is that cool? So comment on that if you want to post.
It's cool when it's a
Yeah.
sport
Look,
you don't
Andy left.
particularly
Andy
care.
Yeah, but hold on here. When it comes to hockey, are you a Toronto Maple Leafs fan or a Buffalo Sabres fan?
I'm a Sabre fan.
You have worn
Oh,
plenty of
stop
Leafs
it.
jerseys in your life.
Stop it. Are
Nick?
you kidding me?
Nick?
This guy's the biggest liar.
Nick?
I was a Wendell Clark fan.
I've never worn another.
I've never worn a Toronto
Wendell
Maple Leafs
Clark.
jersey.
Hey.
Have you ever worn a Toronto Maple Leafs
Never.
jersey?
I was.
Have
a
you ever
Lemieux-
seen Chris
Lemieux-
wear
Lemieux,
a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey?
Lemieux,
My ears
and
hurt, everybody. Do yours? Ears hurt?
Lemieux.
All right.
So this all goes to he left the Flames and he shouldn't be allowed to watch the Flames game. So that's what happened.
but
All right.
But we'll get into it another time.
We'll get into that another
We'll
time.
save that for the hockey
In the
podcast.
meantime, let's give a shout out again to Moose Light.
So sorry.
I could definitely go for some Moose Light
I
after
could go
that
for 2
conversation.
right now.
That stuff is scary good.
Scurry.
If you need hats, shirts, jackets, you know the drill. Go see the Doyle's corporate image.
Royals rule.
And my little brother Nicky for winning the pick'em pool is going to win some Done Right sauce.
Yeah, congrats.
This is
Ghost
their
pepper.
Buffalo blueberry sauce.
blueberry
Oh, that's
sauce.
nice.
Right?
That's
Yeah,
different.
that's different. It's
Blueberry?
brand new out.
Blueberry.
Oh, I was ready for
Blueberry.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Blueberry.
Yeah, that's our Buffalo Ghost.
So that's their new sauce. Get out and try it. You know where you can pick that up. If you don't, check out their website. Now, is the website changed?
Yes.
All right, what's the website now?
It's donerightsauce.com.
.com. There you go. Nick's learning how to advertise, everybody. DoneRightSauce.com. Go there, find out the locations on where you can find this
And
stuff.
I tried that ghost pepper. And, oh man, that is super
Oh,
hot,
it's
and
tasty
I love
stuff. And guys, if you want to watch this instead of listen to this, and it's hard to listen to, go to youtube.com, search First Down Sports Podcast, and we'll have the video there for you.
That's it. YouTube.
yeah.
Andy's doing a great job
and
on
you
the
can
videos.
watch the
That's
look on my face during that last conversation.
Yeah.
and Chris mocking him.
All right. So my final thoughts before we get out of here. I just can't tell you. I'm in my Buffalo blue, my Buffalo red. I can't tell you how nice it was to wake up Monday morning and see the AFC East standings come out. And after the first month of football, the Buffalo Bills have the lead. And I'm hoping that the Bills can, keep this up going through the year. Even though I said I hope they'd only win 2 games, but I'm hoping they can keep this up. I really love the direction this team's going, and I see great things out of Buffalo. So that's it for
And
me.
I'm wearing my Browns colors, and all I can say is go Argos.
Go Argos. There you go. Oh, yes. Nice shot. Nice shot. Check out our website, firstdownsportspodcast.com. Enjoy the games this week, everybody. Have a great week.
Do it. Ah, horrible.
That goes to Andy.